A familiar face forgotten. Mefred cannot help but wonder if you remember who he is. No. The name is kind of familiar, but... At the risk of repeating myself, it's still hard for me to believe that we'd meet again here, of all places. Though I reckon you probably don't remember me after all this time, huh? What will you say? Of course I remember you. Well, you see, um, I'm sure I remember. I'm thinking of the right person. I'm impressed. Given everything you went on to accomplish, you'd be forgiven for forgetting all about your time in Quarry Mill. That's the only thing I could think of. Like, I couldn't think of a specific person, but I was like, I mean, there were a bunch of Highlander dudes in Quarry Mill. That's obviously like where um, the Griffin imposter was from as well. Suffice it to say, we didn't forget about you either, nor the lives you saved. As for me, I went to Little Alamigo while Galleon was recovering. Oh, and Galleon is the imposter. Gundabald was my former commander and an old friend, and I had a lot on my mind. In the end, I decided to disband our unit. I told the men to live their lives as they saw fit. Okay, so this is the guy that I was probably directly working with to, like... I think I had to get something to, you know, help with the dude's wounds or whatever. Some chose to remain in Little Alamigo, and others went to Ul'dah for work. But, as you can see, I chose to come back to Garabanya and join Conrad and the others. I've kept busy since then, ferrying people and provisions across the border and back. It's not been easy, but it's been fulfilling. Today, however, we'll be heading east into the peaks. Conrad thinks we might have luck finding new recruits in the village of Alagana. Alagana? If you're going there, you're taking me with you. That's right. You're from Alagana, aren't you, Lise? Oh, okay. I didn't remember that. By all means, we'd welcome the company. There will be more to it than just asking around, but we can talk about it on the way. Make your preparations and meet me by the tunnel to the peaks. Did he actually mention what we were doing, or... his statement about there will be more to it than just asking around. It's like asking around about what? I don't recall you saying. But then again, my memory isn't the best. Yida and I were born in Alagana, though I can't say I remember much about it. This tunnel will take us all the way to the peaks. We're on a mission for Conrad to Alagana. Clear the barricade if you would. Aye, sir. Shouldn't take more than a moment. There are more villages there than out here. But there are more villages there than out here. I'm just like... I mean, obviously, like, Rauger's Reach would just be considered one village. Unless by here he means, I don't know, somewhere else. But also more Imperials keeping a close eye on things. We'll need to tread carefully. I guess. I don't know. It was just a weird sentence to me. Maybe I'm dumb. Okay. Way's clear after you, Lavenza. Oh. Another zone introduction. Journal entry.
I remember the peaks of Girabania, silent watchmen that would stand long after we were gone. We came seeking allies to join us in the fight against the Empire. People who had had enough. People who had suffered every possible indignity, who had been treated like animals, day after day after day.
Oh, okay. I mean, it makes sense. There was a glamour on the other exit. There would be here as well. So yeah, I think the gap between starting these two quests, you know, finishing one of them and then finally coming to this one, I forgot that, oh yeah, we're looking for people to help the resistance. This wasn't the work of the Garleans, but of Theodoric. His army massacred the monks here decades ago. By the time the Black Wolf arrived with his legion, it was already a ruin. We have a glamour in place here too, as you may have noticed. So far as the Imperials are concerned, this is not more than a testament to the savage impulses of a lesser race. Remember though, once we leave these ruins, we'll have no glamours to conceal us. The village is to the east. Keep watch for patrols as we move. Oh. I thought we were just going straight to the village. That's what I get for not paying attention. Gods, look at that tower to the southeast. How long did it take them to build it? Nary an Imperial in sight, that's a mercy. Alagon is due east, past that bridge. Follow me, it's not much further. Yeah, it's the other... I don't remember much about Alagana, but that's what I thought it was. Alagiri is... I remember there are some horror stories there dealing with the Garleans. Just when, you know, Lise was talking about, like, the things they've had to endure or whatever. I couldn't have been older than 5 when we left this place. My memories are hazy at best. You can rest easy, we made it. This is Alagana. It feels strange coming home like this. I always imagined it would be... Oh, sorry. This has nothing to do with why we're here. We need recruits. Aye, we do. But as I said back at the Reach, it's a little more complicated than just asking for volunteers these days. As you know, I'm just wondering now, did he actually say in the initial text that we're going to look for recruits and I just completely forgot about it in like less than a minute? As you know, we're short-handed because many of our people were taken in by the Griffin's promises and went to the wall, never to return. It wasn't just them, though. Folks from all over, including some of my former comrades, answered his call to arms. As for why we came to this particular village, it's rumored that Alagana lost a few youths as well. If there's truth to that, then there could be others sympathetic to the cause. Then again, after the Griffin's betrayal, they may be suspicious of outsiders claiming allegiance to the resistance, and rightfully so. So with all that in mind, how are we supposed to convince them to join? I mean, I knew it wouldn't be as simple as giving a speech in the village square, and that's probably what we're going to end up doing. Not if you didn't want the place to be burned to the ground, no. Oh, yeah, you might as well piss in the Viceroy's eye. Okay, so yeah, we don't want to do a speech in the square. We'll need to be a good deal more circumspect than that. You never know when an Imperial spy is listening. We must speak with the Elder first. I know for a fact he can be trusted. We'll listen to what he has to say and decide what to do after. Sounds like a plan. Let's hope there are still some brave men and women here willing to fight. Okay, just wanted to double check the gain setting on my mic. Sometimes it resets and just could sound worse. I don't know. I couldn't have been older than 5 when we left this place. Oh yeah. Okay, why am I? The prodigal daughter. Mefred would like to introduce you to the village elder. Ragnfrid, the village elder, is over by the shore. No time like the present. Let's have a word. I mean, this is obviously like you're living in tents or like a, you know, a hole in the side of a cliff or whatever. Obviously not quite up to modern amenities, but just looking at the waterfall with the like the river going through is pretty nice though. Don't know you, traveler. You a merchant? You'll not find much custom here. Greetings and well met, Elder, and sincerest apologies that I did not send word ahead of our arrival. Too long have I been away from Alagana, and I would know of your recent troubles. Ah, you are comrades of Mefred. I see. Isn't he Mefred, the one we're with? Speak on, though I suspect I know your purpose. Yeah, it's Mefred. Whatever. I don't know if the dialogue is weird or my brain is just not here today. But stuff is confusing me. The Griffin came with many men and left with many more. Such is the rumor. Is it true? He lit a fire in their hearts and then dangled a dream before their tired eyes. And now you come to steal away what few remain. The Griffin was a traitor and a madman, and he had no part in his and we had no part in his schemes. We have made an agreement with the Alliance. This time it will be different. This time, cold comfort to the dead and the ones they left behind. How much more must we give before you've had your fill? But But surely you hate the Empire as much as we do. They took our lands, our traditions, even our God, and they demand a fifth of what little we've got left. I hate the bastards with every fiber of my being. But hate's not enough, Mefred. We can't keep doing this. I'll not tell anyone you came, but you need to go. Now. Leave us be and never return. You've got no right to speak to us like that. I've got a quarry that was producing barely enough to keep us fed, and that was before half our young men and women went off to die for your bloody cause. So yes, I've got every right to tell you to leave my village. No, you don't. Because it's my village too. My home. What in the hells are you on about? Wait, I know those eyes. You're one of Curtis's girls. Lise Hext, and I'm here. I'm here to take back my homeland. By Rhalgr, the last time I saw you, you were... I didn't even know if you were still alive, and I never thought you would come... I almost didn't, and my sister never will. Lots of others won't either, and that's why we've got to carry on the fight. You even sound like him. As you say, I've got no right to tell you to leave. Alagana is as much your home as it is mine. But I say to you again, we can give no more. Yes, I heard you the first time. Let's go. Do what you will and say what you like. You'll find no recruits here. Obviously that, well, I wouldn't say obviously that's not entirely true because I don't actually remember what happens here. But I would assume, just... I don't know, maybe Lise being here, and if anybody here has heard of the Warrior of Light, and knowing that we're on their side, might get a few more recruits. We didn't come here to fight. I hope I haven't made a mess of things. They could have been handled better, but what's done is... Or that could have been handled better, but what's done is done. At least we've been granted permission to stay. I was hoping Ragnfrid might help us to recruit some of his people, but that clearly isn't going to happen. If we're to convince any of them to join, we'll first need to regain their trust. It's risky, and it's hardly subtle, but I say we approach the villagers directly. See what problems they've got, and if we can do anything to help. Makes sense to me. Let's split up and ask around. Oh, multiple quests. Again, a fork that forks. Hard country. Griseldis is here, but her mind is elsewhere. You'd best keep your distance if you know what's good for you. Say your piece and move on. Looking for folks down on their luck? Congratulations, you found one. As you can see, my leg ain't what it used to be. Some days I can hardly walk for the pain. Mornings are the worst, especially after cold nights. Hard labor's right out. Too much pain and trouble for others. There's a tea what helps with it, though. I'll need to grind a chapuli horn and a hornbill talon for the blend. Eh? You'll go and get some for me, just like that? You needn't trouble yourself, so... Okay, and as usual, it locks you out of the other quest. I'm still curious if that's something that happens at the time, because I don't recall that. Like usually, you know, you go into an area, you do whatever MSQ, and then you know you've got a bunch of side quests, and you pick those up as well. But you never, I think, locked out of any quests. Again, it might just be a limitation of New Game Plus in like how it saves your state or whatever. Like it just does it one quest at a time. I don't know. Definitely in territory where we don't one-shot everything. So the only thing I can think of that is coming up is the attack on Ralger's Reach. And then I think after that is when we head to Doma. You've been gone a while. What brings you back to Alagana? Chipuli horn makes a fine medicinal tea when ground into a fine powder and mixed with other ingredients. Makes a fine medicinal tea. Yeah, okay. Same. Same. Oh, I never meant to. I mean, in times like these, you never think people will actually. This country's hard on people, but it's not just that. The Imperials, they've made it known I'm not to be helped. A dead man's good for one lesson, you know, whereas a live one. You're with the Resistance, right? I suppose there's no reason not to tell you then. My father, God's rest his soul, was deathly sick at the time, and so I'd gone out into the forest, spear in hand, to gather herbs. And then I had the good fortune to run into an Imperial patrol. My weapon marked me as a rebel, or so they said. Not that it had made a difference if I had fought back. I knew what the lot of them were about. Were about the moment that Centurion laid eyes on me. Didn't matter in the end, of course. Some people just like to hurt others. And by the time I limped back to the hut, it was too late for my father. Too late for me, too, I. And many others, I imagine. Help them, too, if you like. They'll be grateful and say thank you. But beyond that, I wouldn't hope for much. So she was saying that they kept her alive as like a lesson to others. I think that's what I'm taking it as. Although, I mean, you could argue either one is a lesson. Either, you know, the lesson is you do wrong and we'll beat the crap out of you, or you do wrong and we'll kill you. Either one is a lesson I think people want no part of. Death by 1,000 rocks. Angry Coral regards you with suspicion. A new face in Alagana? Huh. What would you ask of me then? A stranger and a generous soul besides? Bollocks. There's not more suspicious than a good Samaritan. On the other hand, if you were an Imperial agent, I expect you'd go about your business with more discretion. Bugger me. You really are here to help, aren't you? Very well. I'll take you up on your offer, stranger. My little brother's working the rocks by Grim and Enid. He's got something for me. Can you go and get it? Right then. Frightened Coral is his name. Ask him for the leftovers. He ought to understand. Frightened Coral and Angry Coral. It makes it, I mean, I can only assume that they were named sometime after birth. Or maybe it's just one of those they take it, you know, take the kid to an elder and they just like scry what the name is or something. I forget about this place like every time I come here. I think I've had a couple of times where I've thought about this pyramid thing and like couldn't remember where it was. I think it's generally when I think of the peaks, I think of the upper portion of it. Just because if I go anywhere, that's where I spend more time gathering and whatnot. Here for the leftovers, are you? Not like my brother to send someone in his stead, but so be it. It's all in the sacks over yonder. They're bleeding heavy, mine, so be careful when you pick them up. Don't worry. I've got plenty of room in my bag, and weight seems to be no no concern. Yeah, I was saying last stream that the fringes, portions of it reminded me of the area outside of Bostic in 11. Which I'm still blanking on the name of it. This reminds me of Saruda Baruda. I missed that game. It was not the first MMO I played. That was actually Star Wars Galaxies, but I didn't last long in that. But it was the second, I think, MMO I ever played, and it was the first one I ever like really got into. Ah, the new face. You have my leftovers? Unconscionably heavy sacks. You load 10 and 6 tons. What do you get? Another day older and deeper in debt. Huh, well, I'll be. You actually went and brought the whole lot. Much obliged. Much obliged. It's saltpeter for making fire sand, in case you're curious what it's all for. The rocks by the lakes have got good deposits. Tain't hard for my brother to pass for any other plodding quarryman. All the while sweeping bits and pieces off to the side to bundle up and sell to the settlers what trade with the resistance. It's a living and a way of fighting back besides. Our way of spitting in the Garlean's eye for putting our father in an imperial uniform and shipping him off to some faraway province 15 years ago. So I guess what he's saying is like he works as like a quarryman or whatever, but he sets apart some of it to give to the resistance. Don't know if he's dead or alive even. Though if he were alive, he'd not be long for this world if we were caught fighting for the resistance. So this is the best we can do. That's the long and short of it. We do what we can, though we know it's not enough. I think you'll find that most folks here ain't much different. Everybody's got a reason, but in the end, the result is the same. I suppose I just wanted you to know is all. That we know why you're here, and that even if we can't join you, we wish we could. Thank you all for watching this video. This stream has been a lot of fun. We finished up with the first section of uh, Garabanya, and we just got into Kugane. So I'm really looking forward to getting into seeing more of Doma and the storyline there. It's been so long since I've done it, but I remember it being really good. So looking forward to that. And if you are looking forward to seeing more of these videos, please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And if you want to see it live, see me live, it or me or both and or uh, the link to my Twitch is in the description down below. Thank you again for watching, and have a good one.